This type here in Yerushalmi Shekalim in the article also additional daf Ches Amud Aleph, the third line down on Nochi Bakuti. And I like to apologize because I thought I was giving the pagination. I'm not at home, as you can see by not all backdrop for this whole past week and for a few days hence, and I was not looking in the Yerushalmi inside to give you the pagination numbers according to the Vilna Yerushalmi. So it turns out, and I should have noticed this on Daf Aleph because it wasn't Daf Aleph, but rather Daf Beis. I'll give you the page numbers from the Shekalim in the Ram Bavli, which of course printed the Shekalim, and so Shekalim became part and parcel of the Bavli Daf Yomi cycle. The only Yerushalmi Masechta, as we discussed in day one. So the numbers I'm giving you, I just noticed the discrepancy between the numbers on the article page, which does give you the authentic Yerushalmi, authentic, the actual Ram Yerushalmi edition page numbers, which is Ham Ralph, and the page numbers I've been giving you for the Ram Bavli Yerushalmi edition, which is on Daf. Since we'll be giving them, we'll continue giving them. Dawud Amud Aleph, in the and most people learn Shkoy by learning how they're building the Bavlis anyway. But anyway, so that is the 3 lines, fourth line after the Mishnah, third and fourth lines, halfway. First line is like only one word. So Dawud Amud Aleph. Okay, so the Hanachim Akuti Shishakli Emakali man. The Nachim Kuti who give for the Machzor Sheh, we don't accept it from them. Amrai Bar said Tipati Command the Kuti Kugoy. It seems to be going like the opinion shows that a Samaritan is like a non-Jew. We know that there's a discussion of Gemara in several places that they found by them idols in their temple and Hagrizim. The temple no longer exists. They still bring Korban Pesach. The Samaritans, it's actually a popular tourist attraction as well because their Pesach and our Pesach don't coincide. So people want to see a Korban Pesach actually go up to the Samaritans, watch them Hagrizim. But in any event, they don't have their temple is destroyed, but they still sacrifice their Korban Pesach. And it's according to the Chazal, several places, they found some sort of idolatry inside the temple, so therefore, that way they decided to declare them to be Goyim Gemurim. So our Mishnah, which seems to equate Nachin and Kuti, seems to go with that opinion that the Kutim have the status of non-Jews. So the Gemara says, "Tispagu, it's machlekes. Kuti kegoy, divi Rebbe. They're going to Rebbe. Kuti is like a goy. Rishon Gamliel Omer Kuti kisol chol davar. Kuti is like kisol for all matters." So before they came to a conclusion later in history that the Samaritans should be like Goyim, the universal conclusion was machlekes. Amar Abelazar said, "Masnisa begoyim." You know what? Our mission is really talking about a Goyim. Ha bekutim lo. It's not talking about kutim. And the way the Talmud Chaydatin explains it is that it's not exactly we're not macabre for them. That is true. But other karbanos were macabre from them. So therefore, what it says in our Mishnah that it says, well, first it says nachva kuti b'shaku ein makabli on them. We don't accept machzis shaku from kuti. But then it says ein makabli men kine zavin kine zavos of kine yoldos chatos v'ashamos. That's going specifically on Nachrim, on non-Jews, but from on the actually, you know, in the Vilna it says Nachrim, in the article it says Goyim. So the assumption is the Vilna is censored and it said originally Goyim, but in any event, the same idea, so it's interchangeable. So that which it says, don't accept those kabbalas, that's specifically going on the Nachrim or / Goyim, not on the Kutim. The Tani came, and we have a Bryce that says, Adam Rabbus again, we accept kabbalas from Adam. This is the pasuk is in Vayikra Aleph Beis. Daber bnei somat lehem Adam, ki akim v'kem kol Hashem midabeim b'kar mitzvot takivus korbanchem. So Adam Rabbus is again. Mikem, it says pasuk Adam kri mikem. Adam includes gerim, which includes the kutim, because at that point they were still considered to be Jews, to be Megerim, and the excludes the Mishumadim. They don't accept korbanos from Mishumadim. People have done tshuva and have been gone away from Judaism. Says the Gemara, Masnisa, Plika Rabbi Lezer. Wait a minute. You want to say our mission is going to Rabbi Lezer? Our mission seems to argue Rabbi Lezer. It says, Ein Mekam Yodem Kine Zavim Kine Zavos Kine Yodos. Okay, so is that talking about Nachrim? The Chiyesh Kine Zavim Zavos Begoyim? There must be talking about Jews, about Kutim. And so you still can't be Makabel Korbanos from them, right? Because it says that it can't be talking about Goyim because they don't have these concepts of Zav, and Yoledes. So it must be talking about Kutim and say they can't accept Korbanos from Kutim, from the Kutim. Okay, so I learned the next line like Reb Chaim, which is not quite like the Taklin Chatin and the Bridbaz, who seem to go. The Gra takes out the word Ella, and they seem to take it out too, but you don't have to. So the way Reb Chaim reads it, Ella Reish going to say for Bekutim. So we're going to say the Reish is talking about the Goyim only, or Nachrim only, and the Sefer is talking about Kutim only. And then when it says Vakeni Reish going to say for Bekutim. So according to the Mashbiach, that line, since it's redundant, he says it's a Lomid Echad. Somebody learned Yerushalmi, wrote it in his Gemara, and somehow found a way into the text. But according to Reb Chaim, no, it's an Enochinami. Reb Chaim, the first line is a question. The ratio of the Goyim B'Sefer Kutim B'Tmiya, and it says, yeah, Vakeni, it's like that. Ratio, although the Reb Chaim takes out the Vakeni, but they even have it in Vakeni. Ratio, it's indeed like this. Ratio B'Goyim B'Sefer B'Kutim. In other words, really, according to this man Damar, you can accept from Kutim the Machzis Shekel. That's fine, right? And but you don't accept Kutim, the Korbanos for Nida Yoledes, for Yoledes, for Zabziv and Yoledes. Why not? So the Chaim says because they're not Beki in Piskei Nida and the Tumatara, they don't know the halachos because the halachos in Tarsh B'Ksav are cryptic. Therefore, they don't bring it at the proper time, I guess, even though Yoledes is pretty explicit. But he says, he doesn't address Yoledes, says they're not bucking Piskei Nida V'Ziba. But when women starts to be Nida becomes a Ziba, that's the 7 days, the 11 days, that's very complicated. That we don't expect them to know. Okay, that I got. But he also says Yoledes. So the in any event, we don't say this not because intrinsically they can't bring this korban, but because of they're not. We don't believe that they're bucking. Maybe they're bringing korban lettuce when it's really just a nefa. I don't know. But anyway, so we don't. We don't. So the safe is only about kutim because Nachrim don't bring these korbanos, and kutim don't bring them because of a peripheral reason, because they're not bucking these lachos. On my biachon, so they said, yeah, but wait. When it comes to construction of the base Hamikdash, we don't accept from the kutim, even from the kutim. We don't accept the lodarim museum, not a specific object such as a beam or a stone. Lodarim museum or non-specific objects which mean money. Why? Because of historical antecedents, historical reasons. The Fakir means on the pasuk here. Because they're afraid they might coming to weaken us by providing support and then cutting us off. It says, the Samaritans were trying to prevent the construction of the base on Mikdash. So it doesn't mean that a full pasuk here. Ezra Dalet. Maybe the art scroll was on the pasuk in the art scroll. Yes, he does. Vayam Aretz, which are the Kutim, Merapim Midei Yehuda Mebalim Oson Livnos. they were frightening them from building with them. So we're concerned that they going to stymie our building. So we don't accept them. So that's Basof. Afterwards, in the and it means in order to be mechazik bedek abayis, right? In order to sustain the building, then we're makabel from them. And it says here, davar she'einu musim. We only accept them saying davar musim. In other words, don't give them a plaque. We accept for them davar she'einu something which is unidentified. But you don't accept from them any kind of davar musim. You don't accept for davar musim because as the who gives the parish more succinctly here? Corbin, I guess it'd be Moshe. Some Makabim Davar She'ein Musim Ben Kavim Mem Davar Musim Tzkein Tzachmar, as we just mentioned. Davar Musim Ulem L'Tiperes L'Zikaron. The Davar Musim is going to be for them for glory and a commemoration. Davar She'ein Musim Makabim Mem Basal B'Chazei Bereg Abayis Shekvar Nivnei L'Chushav Rivnei Yadayim. But Davar She'ein Musim except for them in order to sustain the building, because once it's already built, there's not going to be any Rivnei Yadayim as a result of them cutting it off at some point. Okay, so no, ben b'tchila ben b'sof, where the beginning, when the end, we don't accept anything from them. It says, I guess, I don't see the pasuk put it down here. Must be put down by somebody somewhere. This is one of the pasukim they bring on it. So even according to what Shem Lakish applies at all stages of the building. Okay, so the Gemara says, Masita Bli Rabbi Yochanan. Mishnah seems to argue Rabbi Yochanan. It says, Ein mekablim hekdesh nedava leberek habayis. No, except for them hekdesh as nedava for berek habayis. It doesn't distinguish between mechila b'tzayim, davar mesuyim, davar shein mesuyim. Good question, right? So plus so Rabbi Yochanan was talking. It's ben mechila ben mesof. Yes, in the beginning or later on, or ongoing maintenance. About davar mesuyim, it's only davar mesuyim, which is an issue, not a davar shein mesuyim. Okay, so this is hekdesh nedava is referring to specifically hekdesh nedava of a davar mesuyim. Masita Pir Shimon Lakish. Because there's another brisa which seems to argue Shimon Lakish is a Mishnah actually. It's the first parak of Erchin. There's a Mishnah which says that the Kol Shabin Shein Nojin V'Nidarin. They can give pledges, and they're on a Nedava. So you see, they can give. What do you mean they're not makabel for them? So says Gemara, it's okay. It means over davar shein mesuyim only, but at least davar shein mesuyim. Pasula oila. It's not going on upkeep. We never accept upkeep from them. We're afraid, it's going to our budget's going to rely on them, and who knows what's going to happen next. So we never accept from them. What we do accept is korbanos. No Nidar means korbanos. They can bring korbanos. Now, see, non-Jews can't bring a korban shlama, but they can bring a korban ola. So the nicha noidrim oila. So I understand the noidrim. Noidrim means they can make an eder, they can bring an oila. But what about the word nidarim? Right? The word nidarim, which I didn't focus on before, which I probably should have. But the word nidarim is strange. This nidarim means somebody else can make a neder on them. So noja means they can make a neder, and nidarim means they can be the object of a neder. So what does it mean? If a Yisrael comes and says to a goy, you need to bring an oila, he's going to make the guy's going to listen to bring an oila. If you learn to talk about money, so that makes sense, right? Noidim, they make net, and Nidarim means somebody Yisrael pledges the value of the non-Jew. Okay, that works out. But if it's talking about oila, it sounds like the Jew is pledging an oila on behalf which the non-Jew has to bring. What do they mean? Nidorim means I can compel the guy to bring an oila, right? So it says when nicha again nicha noijin oila. That makes sense. Nidorim oila. What does it mean? So Gemara says, "Lo, it's talking about found case." So about Shama Yisrael Re'elai Ola, when the Yisrael said, I have to Ola Shama Goy Amar Masha Amar Zelai, and Goy hears and says, oh, that's what I have to be that as well. So that is Nidorim. He hears the Yisrael and the changes and goes along with the Yisrael, but it's a little bit difficult the Dorin. So the Gemara changes the gears here. The Gemara changes the exact opposite. Shama Goy Harei Elo B'Shama Yisrael. The Goy says, "Come to find me," and Yisrael hears, and Hani Dorin Shaydei Anachri Nidar. That's why it's Nidorin, because it's like the Nidar for his money means the Jew promises the value of the goy. Here it is: the Jew promises the oil which the goy said was going to bring. A Jew promises he's also going to bring an oil. And Gemara asks a very interesting question. Gemara says, oh, by the way, before I go on, I should point out I did leave out the article leaves out together some parentheses in the Vilna, and even but the Gemara does put it in, but I left it out before. There is a Nusach Yoshon, which is that Rabbi Yochanan answers before. He says, "Plus a museum, I feel most of Yelichem Yamamelch," but I just left that out. Okay, I guess the article doesn't even have in parentheses here. So it says Gemara, but an interesting question, and this question, of course, is on Rabbi Yochanan as well. Of any Meivan Revim on the Sachim, doesn't he bring if a guy brings doesn't he bring the Sachim with it? The most of the Sachim when and you don't bring the actual oil and wine, flour you donate money for it. And there's most from it usually. There's leftover money because base makes a good deal on this stuff. And most of the sachim lo kishayin, the excess for the sachim funds go to klishayis. Nimsa maybe davar. So you are bringing the davar masiyim in front of money bagoy because the klishayis is a davar masiyim, right? Which is a definite article. So it's a good question, right? So Gemara answers this question with a question. Meisi Reisi Rabbi Yossi Rabbi. So Yossi asked, "For then we learn Nerachim Berachim that Nerachim, sorry, not Nerachim Berachim, Nerachim that a non-Jew could be Nerach, right? He can oh no, it is Berachim. Well, no. It's Nerachim, sorry. Non-Jew can be can bring his erech to the Beis Hamikdash. Well, Nerach literally means he can be the subject of erech. So the article puts a little sleight of hand. So he says, "We learn in Mishnah that Nachim Nerachim. That's our mayor." And also, the orchin. They can be orech as well, according to Rabbi Yehuda. So he does learn that nerachin and mayor and orchin according to Rabbi Yehuda. Nerachin ve'orchin. Sus have opinions there. One is opinion mayor, one is opinion Rabbi Yehuda. But today we're focusing on the orchin right now. And this is just goes to his close here. It says, "But Nina." Kol Marichim ben Erachim, including everybody is Marichim ben Erach, without getting into the who holds what. So the guy can give erech to the Beis Hamikdash, and his value. Erechim lo leberek habayis. So the erech can go to berek habayis, and the berek habayis they can go to a specific object. So he goes giving to a specific object. So it's a good also a question. Davar Masiyim. So what do you say? He's just giving money to money. It's giving to the general fund. And there it says the clichés in the building too, not just the article. It says clichés and the shoes close takes that. We're gonna take it out. The article takes that as well. Um, the it's interesting. The Vilna, it says "Hey, boy, the clichés on the side," and it just says the text of the bias. But in any event, that's a proper girsa. Just to have not have clichés. The way we're learning it. When they better bias, can't have them marhacha. So to you say, uh, uh, you say by us, Abag l'shamayim muskavin. He has a mind to give it to shamayim. Man by the moisin is man by the kli choice, and they come to kli choice their own. So the bottom line is that the guy can't give them a suyam when it is something which is going to come out as his object, because he's given specifically earmarked earmarked for a brick in the Bedek Abais. But if he's just giving to the general fund and it comes out like that, that's not our problem. So therefore, it's not a problem. Of course, we're going to have to give it out to Rishon ben Lakish, right? That's a good question, right? And when I ask the question, Rishon ben Lakish says even if it's not a Dover Messiah, so we should be able to allow for the general fund, right? So it's specifically going on binyan abayis. But if you use it for any other type of berek abayis, and even klishar, it's not a problem. So the Shimon Lakish says the whole issue is we don't rely on building fund on non-Jews, but anything else we can. It's not a problem. Okay, so therefore that's most in the Sachim, the Klisharis. The our Erchin going to Berek Abais is not a problem. Okay, the really Rechilka continues on this vein, but it's we're already very far on testing now, so we'll stop here for today.